both hilariously and happily enough, as I've been waiting for this. In the most recent stream I did, somebody asked me when, Zenitsu and Inosuke were going to show back up to the fight in order to go against Muzan. And I was hoping soon. And then as soon as this chapter started, Muzan was getting cut by somebody, and he wasn't able to really tell what was going on, but you could tell like the style of the blade, and you could see the rigidity, is that the word? There's that jagged nature of what he guessed what it was. I knew it was a Inosuke. I was expecting maybe some form of new technique for him. Maybe he figured out a way in order to alter other people's senses. I don't know how he do that, but I was fully waiting for it. Some like animal predator kind of skill. But as it was, now you have all these guys back in the fight, and I'm hoping that they're gonna get their own kind of demon slaying mark soon. Because now all the characters are in it. You have Igoro going with this new red blade enhancement. I actually really liked the fact that the snake in his attack, themes was emphasized a little bit to be a different color. You have that kind of extra red on it. Funny enough, when I was like thinking, not really sure whether or not the elements in Kimetsu no Yaiba were factual, either whether they were just kind of visual or they were real. It was like stuff like Inosuke's and Igoro's like the snake, and I guess Inosuke's just all around crazy slashing style. It was like, well, what makes theirs like able to do it? Like the snake one was already kind of questioning, is he like summoning a snake? But no, it's just all visual effects for the sake of the the moves. And now we got like all these characters. They've got these like seals that are able to hide their presence so Muzan can't see them. Another tactic against the demons. Taimayo left a lot of stuff behind in order to help them fight against Muzan. And I want to say, Muzan is getting into some dangerous territories. He's starting to get overwhelmed. Unless he's got a form above this, he's in a bad spot. Because here's the thing, he's starting to get really damaged. The red blades are able to prevent him from regenerating as fast. He's starting to get hit from multiple directions. Sanemi and Gyu both have the red blades now too. And now that they're healed and Gyu's got his sword, like a full, well, not his sword. He's got a sword designated for water breathing back. So they're in a spot right now that's really starting to help them. They're going to be able to now really press Muzan, and this is where I'm more intrigued, because like I said, I've already gone through practically the whole chapter in the first 3 minutes of this video, and for me it's more of what's to come that I want to talk about, if you're gonna stick around for beyond just me summarizing the chapter. But I want to talk about the possibility of Kimetsu no Yaiba still going, and there's the evidence of what was set up beforehand and what's going on right now that makes me think maybe it will keep going. And again, I don't really know. It seems like that they're in the final stretch against Muzan, and Muzan's starting to get really pushed back. Maybe he's gonna bust out a new form. I mean, like the fact he's getting pushed right now like this, and we don't even have Tanjiro back up with this extra hidden new form of sun breathing, makes me like think that once he's up, like Muzan's completely fucked. The thing that makes me think maybe Muzan will escape is like if Tanjiro gets back up and they start to really push him, and Muzan fully accepts that he's gonna lose. We already saw in the flashback against against Kokushibo's brother Yoriichi, is that he has an escape ability. He has an all-out like last-ditch escape where he just explodes, and I think it was, what did he say? Like I think it was a couple thousand pieces of flesh just scattered out in all directions in order to get away. So if he does that, that is a means if he needs to, I can't stay here. Like there's only like an hour 15 minutes. Yeah, hour 3 minutes until the sun comes out. At that point, Muzan will die. But the possibility of him escaping, if he escapes, he can logically make more big bad guys. He's got more methods in order to force them. Kokushibo's the only one that would, in my eyes, it is like irreplaceable. I still really wish that Kokushibo became the main bad guy and evolve, because they introduced that like whole thing with Doma that they can evolve beyond like their current state and get to like the same kind of demonic tier that Muzan was, which was a really good way to set up Kimetsu no Yaiba continuing. What confuses me more, because if you haven't seen last year's success, you know, One Piece finally got dethroned as getting top sales numbers for that year. I think I got like 2 million volumes more. But they've already outdone that in 8 weeks. The first 8 weeks of the fiscal year of 2020, Kimetsu no Yaiba has, I think it's sold almost 13 million volumes in 8 weeks. Which means the pace that it's at, plus the fact it's got a movie coming out this year, it might beat One Piece's top sales. I think One Piece, I don't remember what year, I think it might have been 2009, that it got 38 million back in Marineford. If Kimetsu no Yaiba beats that this year, it's only going to make me wonder, like, is Shonen Jump really going to allow this to end? Like maybe it ends on these characters, but it continues in the world or goes to a different country or something, then I could kind of see that being, you know, that being allowed, but I don't really know if they're going to let such a big commodity really pass up. I mean, I don't know what the contract is between the author and, you know, the big company, but I feel like if they've got this big of a cash cow, they're going to do everything they can to try and keep the series going. There are stuff in place. There are stuff in place to have more, you know, powerful demons with the whole evolution thing set up, but Muzan's got a means of escape. We don't know if he's gonna escape. It looks like he's getting really pressed, and they're gonna really start turning the tables on him. Unless he's got another form, unless he pulls something out. And plus, like, not only is Tanjiro not up, but we don't have Nezuko back up as well. Like, you've got, like, the two main characters still coming back. I don't remember it. I think... I'm just trying to remember. I'm pretty sure that we saw Zenitsu with one of the demon sling marks. I don't remember if Inosuke got it. I'd have to go back and read the chapter where he and Kanao fought Doma. But as far as I can remember, he didn't have it. Whereas now, like, obviously him getting the buff, if he and if the three of them all get the red blades as well, then they're really just gonna put Muzan in, you know, the dire straits of all out, like, unleash everything, maybe evolve him into a higher form or escape, because at that point he's kind of screwed. Again, it's making me wonder if it's going to continue, because one, you have this evolution thing set up, and two, you have a means for Muzan having an escape ability existent in his arsenal. So maybe he'll try that, whether he gets away or maybe he thinks he's getting away and they you know, all team up and just kind of like gang him. I just actually imagine that him exploding, and it's like League of Legends when Zack's, if you've ever played League, Zack's passive goes off and you just have little slimes trying to meet back up, and it's just like, kill them before he reforms and doesn't die. I think that would actually be really neat, but we'll see. I'm hesitant on it because it's like, you have an endgame area set up, but you have means of progress and, you know, further evolution of the series already also set up. So very, very unsure entirely. Plus, like, the fact that it's doing so well, it will baffle me if Shonen Jump and the whole magazine behind it is just gonna let the series end. I feel like they're gonna want to milk it for everything that it's worth. I mean, really. I know it's like the idea of, like, you know, let the author, you know, have the length that, you know, she wants, but I imagine, and I don't know, I don't know the author, but I imagine if you have this big of a success, you're gonna want to write it out, because it's only putting more respect on her name and her credibility and her work, but it's also gonna keep expanding her fan base for whatever she does after Kimetsu no Yaiba, in order to further progress whatever, you know, whatever creations that she has. So comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this chapter. Like I said, you can read this one really fast. I'm more intrigued of where this is leading. Like, are they gonna now be able to turn it against Muzan? Is he gonna escape? What's going on with Tanjiro and Nezuko? Very curious. Anyway, so other than that, comment below, thumbs up video, but for the like button and subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening.